Welcome back to Graveyard Dance! If you're a regular viewer of our weekly videos, you'll know we do our best to bring you a wide variety of topics such as true and historical crime and history, UFO and alien abduction stories, and even vids on haunted places, ghosts and all kinds of other creepy, spooky dark content. If you're into that kind of thing, feel free to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell for all future stories. This week's story is right up there with the other creepy, spooky things we do. Since Halloween is right around the corner, we decided to bring you one that will surely keep you up for hours thinking it over. How many of you have heard about the curse of the Omen? Throughout the years, there have been many movie sets that people have claimed to have been plagued with problems and curses. The story you're about to hear of the Omen is by far the scariest. It all began right after William Peter Blatty wrote a book called The Exorcist, which was based on a true story. The actual true story, we did a video about a while back, which you can check out by going to graveyarddance.com and clicking videos and scrolling back. You won't be able to miss it. The actual story was about a young man named Robbie, but in the movie they changed it to a girl. Either way, the movie set was plagued with all types of problems. Many tried to warn the writers and producers about a film about Satan. They believed the devil didn't want the average person really thinking about him too much, or about whether or not he actually existed or not. By not knowing, he would probably feel that the average person wouldn't try so hard to be saved or to live a righteous life, and therefore, he could take their soul upon the ending of their lives. With all the problems that happened, they were probably right. The film went on to be finished and became a huge monster of a hit, and would go on to make several sequels and many copycat movies. It was also the inspiration behind the idea of making a movie about a young child being born and him being the Antichrist. Even though the idea was pitched by an advertising executive named Bob Munger to Hollywood producer Harvey Bernhardt, Munger quickly had a change of heart and became deathly afraid of the consequences of what the devil may have in store. Munger went on to warn Bernhardt, "If you make this movie, you're going to have some problems. If the devil's greatest single weapon is to be invisible, and you're going to do something which is going to take away his invisibility to millions of people, he's not going to want that to happen." Bernhardt recalled, "The devil was at work and he didn't want that film made." With or without the devil's blessing, the two men bravely went on to make the film. Many people both directly and indirectly involved in the movie would start to become affected by the film's curse, even before filming would ever begin rolling. The lead actor in the film was a man named Gregory Peck. Just 2 months before filming would start, right after signing on to do the film, his eldest son Jonathan was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot. He was just 30. The elder Peck was devastated but went on to continue filming, but didn't do another movie for 2 years. Gregory flew to London to film 2 months after the death of his son. Lightning struck the airplane he was in. He lived, and although the plane didn't crash, it did return to need extensive repairs before being able to fly again. It gets even stranger though. A few weeks after Peck's plane was hit by lightning, executive Mace Neufeld boarded a flight from LA. His plane was also struck by lightning, and he referred to the experience as the roughest 5 minutes I've ever had on an airliner. Producer Harvey Bernhardt was starting to get just a wee bit spooked. Was the devil actually coming after him in his movie? He was about to get the answer to that question in another airplane-related tragedy very soon. Bernhardt and his crew had rented a small airplane to do some footage to be filmed from the air, and was about to board the plane, when plans quickly changed at the very last second. The plane was sent out with another group. Can you guess what happened? If you said, "crash," you'd be correct. Sadly though, this time, everyone on board was killed in the accident. Remember how we told you that executive producer Mace Neufeld's plane had been struck by lightning? The devil wasn't through messing with him just yet. Neufeld was staying at a hotel called the London Hilton with his wife. It was bombed by the Irish Republican Army while they were out on the film set. Somebody down there was trying to send a serious message. As the filming continued, so did the tragedies. In one scene where there is a pack of wild baboons who react violently due to Damien, the young boy who is the Antichrist in the film, being there, another horrifying accident would happen just the following day. The baboon who is in front making most of the noise in the scene somehow got into the tiger cage and was mauled to death just one day after filming his scene. Not even the animals were safe. Somehow, the film ended up getting finished and was released on one of the worst days you could probably think of to release a film after having so many deaths and near deaths from the supposed satanic curse. Yep, you guessed it. They let the film be released to the masses on June 6 or 6/6 of 1976. Not a really good idea. El Satanio didn't think so either. He wasn't through with the cast or crew just yet. In August of that year, the special effects guy on the movie, John Richardson, got in a terrible car accident. He was in the Netherlands, working on Richard Attenborough's A Bridge Too Far. Now this is where it gets even more strange. You seriously can't make this stuff up. In the movie, Richardson was the one who was in charge of the graphic car accident scene in the beheading in the film in the original movie. On the day of his own accident, he managed to survive the crash, but his passenger wasn't so lucky. It was his assistant, Liz Moore. In the accident, she was beheaded. Life imitating art. Now for the creepy part. A nearby road sign telling the nearest nearby town was a town called Omen, and it was exactly 66.6 kilometers to it. Getting any cold chills yet? One of the film's stuntmen, Alf Joint, also went to work on A Bridge Too Far. He wound up in the hospital after one of his stunts went wrong. In one scene, he meant to jump from the roof to an airbag, but he seemed to fall, abruptly and strangely. When he woke up in the hospital, he claimed he'd been pushed, yet no one was around him at the time. After the first couple of accidents, it scared producer Harvey Bernhardt so bad that he started wearing a cross on set. Things finally settled down and life went on as normal, and then someone had the bright idea of doing an Omen reboot. After all the issues of the first one, I didn't know if I would have did that. It starred Julia Stiles and Liev Schreiber and was released on, you guessed it, June 6 of 2006. As far as I know, filming went smoothly, but I can tell you a personal horror story related to the reboot. I had a date the night with my ex, who I had always tried to help and remain friends with, even after we broke up. After going out to dinner that night, we drove back to their place where I dropped him off after seeing the movie. On my way home, a tire blew out and I hit the ditch, knocking my front wheel completely off and nearly killed myself. If they make another one, I think I'll pass. Just saying. If you liked our story this week, share it, talk about it, hit the buttons and follow us on our social medias. Let's get the word out about our channel as far and as wide as we can. If you have a story idea, drop them in the comments section below. We appreciate y'all! Thanks so much for watching! Till next time!